Hello, everybody. This is a voiceover recording of a match between myself, Sean Lewis, and Ray Pistoresi. He's a 5'12 Fargo. I'm 6'71 Fargo at this time. Played a race to 9 ball, alternate break. And we're just going to take a look and see how he does here against what I do and do some analysis. Here we go. So he scratched on the break. Made a ball. I'm taking a look here to see how easily I can make that 2 and come for the 3 ball, or if I have to shoot it all the way down table. Anyways, just to develop this further, Ray has prior done a Solano match with me. This is Fargo reported. And we're just kind of checking to see what are the changes that he's made. If that's helped his game, how it's helped his game. I just hit that ball just a little bit too full. Otherwise, that would have been a pretty snazzy shot. So I think that one of the things that I do when I watch myself play versus where I've seen myself play from past matches is I just keep trying to develop everything that I can see and kind of take the good with the bad, develop a plan for like things to implement to enhance what's going on that's good, and reduce and minimize the things that you don't like or that you don't want to see expressed in the game when you're playing, and just experiment as much as you need to. This is one of the ways. Getting out there and competing against someone forces you to really make sure your technique is good. Oh, thin hit there. So Ray's been trying to speed up his tempo. So one thing I'd recommend doing is just watching the tempo and then trying to remember what was I doing on that shot when you hit it. Each shot, good things and bad things. Trying to put yourself back in that place. See right here, looks pretty thin. I don't know if you can use like low left. Yeah, low left might have been the right way to go. Just actually hit it. Which getting used to the throw and all that is part of the adjustment of playing at someone else's venue. Anything that happens that's different than what you expected to happen, there's information there that you can use to help you. So this is just a reminder of that. So I'm just trying to maintain a small angle on the 4, which I didn't get because I wanted to pop out and shoot the 5 in the bottom left corner. But instead of that, now I'm going to have to draw back kind of to a similar position where it's at now. Play the 7 in the side. it pretty short there. I could hit that a little bit cleaner. Yeah, so I'm just going to try to make this ball 7 into the middle of the table, so I was thinking that I could maybe just go hit the 5, make it, and go to the right of the 7, and then shoot it in the side from a lot of spots. But I came out really nice there. I'm trying to do better about being still when I'm visualizing what I'm about to do. And then the next thing that I wanted to add for myself was to try to connect what I want to have happen with the cue ball as far as like the power of the spin, the speed, and the way it kind of feels in my imagination in my stroke when I swing the cue, and create like as I swing this hard, that energy hits the cue ball through the cue, of course, and through your body mechanics, and then that makes the cue ball go and do all these things that I want it to do that I've planned. Hit that a little bit full. I was trying to come out to the middle of the table so I could draw back over to the side for the 4. I didn't want to go to this rail and then back. It's a little bit trickier. And I think in that shot I just needed to release the result if I'm not getting right where I wanted to get, and then just shoot the shot that's in front of you, because that shot that I just missed was not, that was a routine type of shot. It may not be my favorite angle because you have to go across the shot line. Good shot. And just watching yourself here, making sure that you're systematized as much as you can, and that you're doing it the way that you want to be doing it moving forward, even if you don't get necessarily the results today. As you continue to get more consistent with these mechanics, then all that stuff will get better. Like that shot just slightly under drew. Any more draw on that, and then this is way routine. From here, this is playing safe and battling. So just seeing that you're close to doing exactly what you want to do is kind of one of the key takeaways. You want to be like positive as much as you can. Each failure that you make, that you see and recognize and work on, is just one less repetition of the mistake that you have to suffer through later if you keep playing. That was a good save other than the scratch part of it. Really good save, honestly. Yeah, you do want to hit above, like on the left side rail. kind of three options here. One rail with right spin, two rails with right spin, or I could have maybe drawn straight across, but I don't know if I could have drawn straight across, so maybe there's two options there. Here, either where it's at now or shooting the 9 in the side. I like to go and play shape for 9 in the side, which is just a punch. Get it to float over a little bit. Alright, I'm up 2-0. Here's ready to break again. Pretty good. Yeah, so you just need to go 2 rails back across. I wouldn't necessarily need to say you need to put left English here. If you play it all the way back over to the side rail, you should come down enough just with these a little to follow. I do appreciate everyone that does all this. I know it's tough to, go to somebody's spot and then sign up to have your game analyzed by anyone that's willing to watch it. So, kudos to the people that are in the arena, as always, willing to let it out there. No regrets, because this is all just for learning. I tried to use right English to spin that in so that I could come narrow of the 4, and just struck it too full and didn't throw it enough, because I wanted to hit a little bit fat and then throw the 2 with right English a little bit more to the left of the line that it was on, but it didn't work the way that I planned it. This is a good shot right here to come right back on the good line. So just a low ball. Nice, just slightly above it. Now you can either draw this to the side rail, or if you really like your stroke, you can just try to float below, because you want to be just get to the proper shot line so that you can go up table. Good. Now this is a little bit tricky because you want to go between the 6 and the pocket onto the side rail and come back out. So you got to make sure to avoid the 6. Or you can bump it. That's a good shot if you play your speed proper. You won't have to do anything too tough. You're going to come down table to the 7, so it makes sense to bump it or play your speed such that if you don't bump it, you'll get a shot on it. Just roll forward. Come off the rail. Nice. Cheat the pocket a little bit there. Makes sense with the speed. Here, you can come back. Yeah, punching up, or you can go forward and then shoot the 9 in the same pocket as the 7. That was tough. It was a good run. I just have to maybe watch that a few times to see your own inner consistency, to see how you, because that was a clean rack. And there's a lot of good that can come from kind of like watching the progression of that, how it went down, and seeing kind of where it must have fallen off the line. Maybe the 7 position was tough. I don't know if you second guessed yourself. All right, 3-0. Very close together, but I think I can get a shot here just low and a touch of left. This didn't get a very good result. I just need to cut this thin and go 2 rails. And this is just high ball, no reason to use any spin, because it just makes the shot much more difficult when you're close to the rail. A little too hard. Pretty much barely left myself anything. And it's interesting here too, I walked around the table to see the angle that I needed to hit it at. And I did not think I could scratch in the corner on this shot. The bottom left corner, because I think I'm cutting this. Oh, I guess it was not. I wasn't sure. It looks like it almost scratched, but it actually just hit the point, and then it was never going to scratch. Left myself a pretty nice angle here. It's a little tricky. It can't stay under the 6 and the 9, which would be nice. So I'm trying to get above it. Just trying to work on my visualizations here, taking extra time at address and then just shooting the shot quickly. Just barely underrolled it. I remember how heartbreaking, because that was a good shot, I thought, but here we are. Gotta play safe. I have no idea what I was actually trying to do there. Maybe 2 rails? I think 2 rails. The 4-reeler actually was interesting. Maybe I should have went for the 4-reeler. But I played the shape. Kind of just got away with the cue ball and object ball in position. Pretty good. Obviously a little bit more speed. I can make this bank, but the cue ball is going to go under the 9, so I have to play the cue ball position to shoot the 6 in the right side pocket if I shoot this bank shot in order to get out. Excuse me. So what I normally do here is bank the 5 directly at the rail, just inside of the 6. So this would be like where the markers are at, and then let the cue ball float down table. It's gonna like almost scratch, but that's, I think, the shot that I like the best. Once it goes past the side, the 5 ball, then now it's a pretty tough situation. And then the cue ball, if you play your cue ball properly, then it's a lot of times you'll have it'll be hard to make it in good shape. There's no guarantees. Another thing you can try to do is thin off the right side of the ball and play the 5-2 rails to the end rail, and then play your cue ball. If you can, cut it thinly enough to go to the end rail and to the side rail, and then back down towards the 6 and the 9. I have a little bit of speed issues so far. I really had to take my time. You can get into the feel of that shot. Four zero. Raise break again. He's committing to this break because I break from this spot on my table. Coming across the face of the ball though. Too much. I like to play it just a little bit across. Like from the right side, you're breaking 99% straight into it, but just 1% towards the cutting it to the right, so your cue ball is going to go to the middle of the table. And then using a hard stun stroke, like center ball punch. It's just slightly below center because it's going to have a little bit of friction, but you want it to be basically punching. Okay, so I have missed the one ball in hand. The 5-9 is a little bit tricky now. I think it'd be reasonable to play for the 5-9 combo where the 4 is at. It could probably be pretty easy to do that. It'll be a little bit trickier to play for the short side on the 5. You'd have to get a nice angle, and the 8 is kind of blocking one of the pathways from the 4 to the 5 to do that. So I'd be looking to play this combo. On that, I think if you were playing for the corner, that would have been the shot. I like playing for the 3 in the corner, even though it would have left you a little bit further away. I'm not sure if you're trying to draw and play the 3 in the side. It's tough to get the angle you really want by playing the 3 in the side there. Reasonable safe, considering. I'm trying not to hit the 4 here. Ideally up and down. I think I'm trying to play to the right of the 4. Yeah. And then hoping my speed gives me a good angle to get down for the 5. Because I'll take either short side or the combo. Came down further than I wanted for the combo, but I think I should have still shot it. I ended up playing the carom here. The ticky underneath. And missed it. Whatever the easiest shot is here is what I do for you, cutting it to the right or to the left. Some people they'll cut to the left. Some people like to cut to the right. Either way, you just gotta float above the 8, I think, to have a shot. Underneath it, it's a little bit too much spin there. Again, another situation where it just barely got out of line to where it's really a lot tougher. If this is makeable, I probably try to lengthen the angle out with left and high and play 3 rail shape. Like to try to get deeper, closer to the corner pocket. 2 rails, side rail, end rail. Or actually, you're going cutting it to the right, side rail, end rail, and then back up towards the 7. This is a good angle. Pretty nice. Four to 1. Got a pretty good break and run opportunity here if I can get a shot on the 2, going to the 5. Low right or high left here. That was dicey. Wanted to come to that side of the shot line so I can go to the side rail and back out. That was a very center punch with a decent speed. Pretty good. Just trying to go float forward maybe another 1 ball so I could punch above the side, knowing that if I'm below it I can just go to the side rail here and shoot it all the way down. Pretty clean rack. 5-1. Two balls on the break. Very thin cut, maybe a bank. See where you end up with the bank. I think the cut, it looks a little bit too thin. So as the score is now 5-1, kind of thinking back on the situations, were basically like a couple small positional errors and safety plays from being a much closer score than it really is. And I think that if you're looking for the good things, you can see that small improvements in a couple different areas will change things completely. Like a small difference in the outcome of a couple different shots would be all it takes. And so I hope that Ray is taking this to heart. We had a little bit of a conversation about that where it feels like he didn't do better than the last time we played. And the score maybe was not. With that being said, the score is not necessarily just the only thing that matters, because obviously if I'm playing well or you're playing well or whatever, then the score can be more close even though we're both playing pretty high gear. It was a pretty touchy draw above the 5-ball. Now I'm going to play the collision on the 8. Now if this is almost straight in, I might draw it back. So you got options. If I had been lower, depending on the 8, then I could have went up and down. You just have to be adaptable. The more different, like, little tricky things the easier it's going to be to get around the table and continue to keep yourself in high percentage situations. Came a little bit short there. I did end up pretty straight on that 8-ball. Was not ideal. Six to 1. Got blocked from my shot on the 2. So I rolled out from here. My normal response is just to bank the 2 below the 5. Try to use that as a blocker. This was a good shot too. Kind of like giving me the same shot back. That's a little bit easier for me to make this ball than for the way that Ray had it. But by shooting at this, it's a total sellout. I shouldn't say total sellout. I guess I hit it like that and then it wasn't. If I had gotten closer to making it, it would have been a sellout because it could have just jawed up because I'm playing pocket speed. But I kind of hit it too hard and thin also. Good shot. He's at 6 very nicely. So I'm going to kick at this ball. I think that it's makeable. The side pocket's kind of where I think that the kick needed to be hit to make it. So I'm really playing just a decent amount of speed and trying to exit and create separation on that kick shot. Hoping to make it, knowing that the cue ball will come around a little bit and leave me something on the 3 if I make it. The worst case scenario would be that it gets stuck on the 7, but that still should have something. So this is left kind of a tricky shot. I don't know if it's possible to play off the 4 as far as into the 2, into the 4, into the 9, or if you can go directly into the 9 from this carom. It looks like there's something, but it's pretty thin. I was trying to bank that above the side. I got my cue ball right where I wanted to. So I think you can kick this. I don't know if you can kick it 3 rails. The 6 ball might be in the way. End rail, side rail, and this end rail again, and then back up. The 7 might be in the way. I think maybe the 6 is in the way. But I think that's the shot that I would try. Yeah, the only other thing you can do is try to move them all, so you can move the 7 or the 6. Who knows what the right thing to do is there. That was interesting. I think tying up the 7 and the 9 is a really good idea. Not much else that's good. And it wasn't like that was easy. That was a very difficult situation to come out ahead. It's pretty routine. I just need to make sure I get a good angle on the 6 to the 9 to the 7, because getting fairly straight in on the 7 would be nice. If you get too thin on it, then it might be a little bit more difficult to play for the 9 ball. Came up short here. Gotta work on that little nip draw stroke. Seven to 1. All right, raise break again. 7 to 1. This is the point at which I tell myself that, it's time. You're still doing your best. Ray's actually had a good set so far. He's made a couple unforced errors. And I've pretty much gotten out every time from where he made his mistake. I've had a couple of fortunate situations and gotten away with it. And then a couple of the racks he hasn't gotten out when he could have. I don't know how easily you can cut this in the side. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if using right English could have spun it around the pack if this is another situation, he had come out just enough to hit this 2 instead of being hooked on it. Just little things, just barely. You gotta realize how close you are, so you don't want to get too discouraged. You just gotta keep going. You'll get closer every time you keep trying it. That was a pretty good shot. There's really not much you're giving up there. I'm going to just try to thin as much as I can and go below the 5. Pretty good effort. If it went truly, then it was a good try. I don't know if I'm trying to bank this and come all the way back around. Maybe. Pretty aggressive. Might have been better to try to just play safe and just bank the 2 at the 4, or just try to bank this 2 in the side and then try to bump the 4 with the cue ball as part of that. I think maybe because I'm up 7-1, I'm just trying to drill him, which is, I've been playing pretty aggressively and getting away with it, and that's what my style is trying to be. So you gotta kind of stick with it and just work through it. If it doesn't work, figure out what you gotta do. What you gotta lock in just a little bit more, just to make that next jump. But I like the tempo and everything, and things are going well, I think. Trying to leave myself an angle to potentially bump that 7 out. I'm always trying to make the rack a little bit easier if I can. I don't know if it's easier now. That was a pretty good shot. Didn't realize from the view how much angle there was there. I needed to take more time on that. I wanted to come straighter on the 8 into the side. And I came very short, and I could have just played it with a little bit different cueing, and it would have been fine. I think cutting this in the side is the proper shot. Got a nice bump. A couple of rolls here too, if you think about it. Like, I've gotten a couple nice bumps. Something doesn't always necessarily go your way in every match. So you kind of have to account for, like, okay, who got lucky, really? Okay, 8-1. My break. If you've made it to this point, I appreciate you watching me and Ray play pool. Try to figure our lives out. Just gonna slow roll this pocket speed into the side. I think there's not much else you can do to get better shape, and just try to leave a reasonable shot fairly straight in, I think, on the 3, and play the 4 to the short side is what I think is best. Come out a little bit more like that, then maybe I think you can still play short side for the bottom right corner on the 4 ball. I'm not sure exactly what to do here. I might cut this to the bottom right corner and then use the spin to go. Oh, dang. Just barely got there. Yeah, I'm just trying to play free, I know that. But I did not think that I was going to be able to double the corner pocket like that from the view. Just that way, that shot right there, just play to the end rail and back out, so you just do not have to worry about holding it. The holding it question is tough to answer. Mostly, you should be confident enough to where you don't have to hold it, or you're not sweating holding it. If you're sweating holding it, you should hit it too hard. You should go up and down. Alright, thanks everybody. Hope you had a good time. I had a great time. Thanks for watching.